My theory is that Oda in One Piece narrates and is inspired by two real stories. The first story is the history of our world, especially the centuries that have led us from a world ruled by kings elected by God's will, to a world ruled by presidents elected by popular will. The second story is the manga's history in which Oda is an incisive protagonist too. Today, explaining the connection that exists between One Piece and the history of our world, I try to answer some of the manga's enigmas. What is the will of the D? What does the Straw Hat represent? First of all, who are the pirates? The modern age pirates were the first to adopt a democratic voting system in their social organization. In fact, they used to elect or remove their captain collectively. The only truly indisputable decisions of the captain were those taken in battle or in the middle of an action. The remainder was based on the majority. So, the social pirate organization was a prototype of a democratic society. Perhaps it's more accurate to say it was a prototype of a socialist democratic society because it was a system that guaranteed the crew everything they needed in terms of supplies, security, care of the sufferers and of the amputees. It guaranteed all that things while, on the regular boats, the sailors lived a dramatic reality, a reality which reflected the reality of the great empires of the time. People led by a king who had an absolute and hereditary power, nothing based on merit. By contrast, in the self-governing system of the pirates, that was a more democratic system. Those who aspired to become the captain had to be able to catalyze the ambition and the will of the crew toward a common goal. The bigger the crew was, the bigger captain's charisma had to be. Then, who are the pirates? Pirates were the first free men. Those who, through their social system, began to undermine the monarchical and absolute system of the great empires. A system that would be permanently destroyed with the big international revolutions that would have been. What is the will of the D? The holders of D are free men who have the ability to canalize the will of the masses, not through coercion, but through the charisma. In the real world, kings and emperors, who ruled by an absolute power, covered their heads with the crown of gold that passed from generation to generation. In One Piece, the first pirate king owned, while the future pirate king holds, a straw hat with a red ribbon. Straw that is the antithesis of gold. Red as the first pirate flags. Red as the proletarian revolution's flag. The straw hat is a symbolic crown that Oda gives to his protagonist. This one, becoming pirate king, perfectly embodies the spirit of the great mass revolutions of the history. Revolutions that, in their heyday, were made up of masses of peasantry,